Welcome back, gamers, to another video. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a building mechanic in Rust that I have fallen in love with that I like to affectionately call Moneycomb. Now let's get to it. Along this wall, I've got some examples of Moneycomb and some ways that you can use it in your base. So starting all the way up here by the door, we've got a standard Workbench Moneycomb. We've got the tier 3 workbench in here since it's the largest footprint for a workbench that we've got. So this just goes to show that you can still use a triangle honeycomb and squeeze a workbench in there and some extra stuff, and it still works out pretty dang well. I tossed a shotgun trap in here pointing towards the exposed outer wall because if this wall gets broken, they still have to go through a tier 3 to make any progress. So the only wall that's really at risk is going to be this wall in terms of rating. So that's kind of a pretty cheeky design. We got two small boxes in here. We've got a grill. We've got two of these industrial auto crafters. We've got a space heater and a lamp. It's just kind of a nice little triangle. It shows you how you can kind of squeeze stuff in here a little bit asymmetrically. Let's go ahead and close that up so you can see what it looks like when it's fully sealed. As I said, some of the stuff still peeks out a little bit, but it is still pretty well secured. As long as you lock this small box, if it breaks, it's likely that the gray bag that drops from it will fall inside the garage door and still be safe from raiders. Up next, we've got a locker Moneycomb design. So this is another triangle. You can't really tell from here, but it's just the same sort of triangle as on this side. But what I've got here is a hard side out facing wall with a metal window bar and a metal embrasure here, so you can still reach the locker, access all the stuff inside, but anybody who breaks one of these walls will have to break the locker, break the embrasure and this metal window just to get through the window, or break the whole wall just to get into this square here. So really secure, not quite as secure as if you just put a regular wall here, but pretty close. I mean, you're looking at the embrasure here, 500 health, the window bars here at 500 health as well. So it's that plus the wall or just these, and it's still going to be a pretty tough raid for anybody who's coming through this way, but you get a little extra storage. So that's a really nice touch. It keeps lockers, which are pretty tall and pretty large deployables, out of the way, but still usable. This is another option we've got here. This is a little bit different. It's raised, and the reason for that is so that you've got this spot up here where you can put some small boxes that you can use to feed your vending machine. You can have those linked to other boxes in your base using the industrial system if you like. You can still access the vending machine and both boxes with no problem, even through the door grate. It's a little tricky to hit that, but it is possible. I've got a shotgun trap in here as well in case anybody decides to come for your vending machine from this direction, which is usually the way they'll want to go. You can't access it from the front or from the sides, only from the back. So the shotgun trap is there to kind of secure everything if anyone does decide to go through this armored door. Now, we've got a really standard Moneycomb design here. This is one that I use in almost every small solo base that I build, just because it is super efficient and a very nice way to get furnaces out of the way so you can put bigger set pieces down like workbenches or repair tables. With this design, you've got 3 low-grade based furnaces in here. You can reach all 3 of them from there. You can put a window bars here and the embrasure like I've got. You can put an armored window. You could put the reinforced glass. However you like to seal it up, but this way you can still access these furnaces without having to replace anything, or repair a broken window as you pick it up and put it down. So this is a really solid option as well. And all the way here at the end, I've got kind of like a furnace setup. It's not the perfect design. I would probably prefer it if you could put another shelf in here on top of these guys, but for now that is not possible. So this is about as good as it gets. We've got 3 electric furnaces up top, all linked together with the industrial piping. We've got 3 low-grade based furnaces down here on the bottom, all linked together with the industrial piping. doing as well. And I've got it set up in a closed loop right now, but I'm sure you can understand that if you had boxes here, you can feed into this system all the way through all of these and then into another box with the cooked materials. So really good option for still getting charcoal from your furnaces, from these low grade based ones, as well as optimizing the smelting time for your materials with the electric furnaces. All right, and moving on, this is another type of honeycomb that people often use in their base up in the ceilings or in the floors. So it involves using these triangles in a square like this so that you can kind of peek up from the bottom or down from the top to access these boxes. With this layout, you can fit another box on this triangle here. It just makes it a little harder to see what I'm demonstrating here. So just keep in mind that there is room for another large box right here on the end of this triangle if you so choose to add it. And I usually do, just because you can never have too many large boxes. You've also got enough room for 3 grills, at least. There may be more space, but I tried a few different ways, and this was about as close as I could get them. 3 small boxes as well, so if you find yourself really well stocked on uncooked meat, this is a good option for getting that changed. You've also got this reinforced Moneycomb, so it's basically like a standard pancake layer, but it has an extra added layer because of this ramp. People will have to break the ramp and then the floor just to get into this tile below. So it's a little bit of extra security, and you can put these drop boxes in here that can be accessed over the top of this low wall pretty easily, depending on where this is placed. But if you've got a pancake layer and you're putting stuff above the tool cupboard, for example, this will give it a little extra security. There's also a furnace design here. It's more or less the same as some of the other designs ultimately, but you can see that you can reach up here and get all these furnaces just fine. This one you might have to crouch down to get it, but it's there. There you go. And room for 2 small boxes, maybe even a third if you can place this a little bit better than me, but after a little while I just got a little bit fed up with trying to squeeze that 3rd box in there. So it may be possible, but not for me. And lastly, on this layer, I've got the farm pancake layer. So the farm Moneycomb, as we've got it here, has a space heater, which will help increase the comfort in this area and keep your plants nice and happy and healthy. You'll notice if you just take a look at these plants, they've got everything that they need. They are, they have light, they have water, they've got fertilizer and good soil. So they're very happy. You can grow corn even in this tiny of a space. So that just goes to show that it will work in this pancake layer. If you've got it, you might as well use it. All right. And with that, we'll go ahead and move on up to the top layer here. And what we've got here is what would be like a standard shooting floor type area. It's not built out the way that a shooting floor normally would, with like peak downs and braziers and whatnot, but it gives you a basic idea of the top layer of a base. I sort of have emulated a design that I've seen with a few different YouTubers where they incorporate a crawl space for the industrial furnaces, piping, so that way it's not in the way of everything up on the top layer. And I wanted to kind of utilize that in a much more intentional way and make that design sort of fit in with the base itself. So I came up with this sort of rain gutter design where you've got a window like half height sunk into the floor, so nobody can get through there if they're raiding. They'd have to break this wall or this floor, but you can still run pipes through there. You can put stuff down here that you can reach from the top floor, and it gives you a little bit of that accessibility between the floors without allowing for movement between the two. With that said, I did incorporate a door here so I can show you what's going on down there. You've got storage up here above the door. If that's something that you need, that's a kind of nice way to do it. You drop down in here and you can see we've got electric furnaces for days. We've got small boxes as well to kind of help store stuff and filter it around. I've placed some batteries and other deployables on top of these boxes just to show you how well things stack in like this half height space. So if you feel like, you can't put anything in a half height, in a pancake layer, this just is kind of demonstrating that there's quite a lot of options that you truly have. You just kind of got to get a little creative with it. But you can see that some of that piping comes in here from the top floor down through the window and then across in both directions. That's kind of showing you that in this pancake layer, often people will leave it empty because it is just designed as honeycomb. But if you move with the philosophy that all space in the base can be used, and you start turning your honeycomb into moneycomb in your designs, you've got a lot more options than you might think. I'm pretty sure that's about it for this little tutorial here. If you want to see exactly how I laid any of this out, or if you want me to try to put together a proper base design utilizing all of these moneycomb methods, I'd be happy to do it. I'm happy to answer any questions that you've got about this building philosophy, and feel free to check out other creators. Wellen put out a video using this sort of crawl space basement area design with these furnaces, playing with some of his friends, and they did a really phenomenal job with that base design. So check it out there, and there'll be more videos coming soon as well. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next one.